Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. It's late morning. It's 11:33 a.m. on a Monday morning. How are you? Hope everyone is having a great start to their morning. With oh my goodness, Tuesday morning. School was out yesterday. I said Monday. Tuesday. The kids are back in school. Everyone is back at work or however you spend your day on a weekly basis. I hope everyone just had a great start to their day, whether it's Monday or Tuesday. My correction. But yeah, I had a good weekend. I rested over the weekend. Of course, Zachary is in school. For all those who know Zachary, you know Zachary. But he's in school. It was cold today outside. And usually when it's like wintertime, I don't zip up my coat because I don't like my coat zipped because it's not that cold to zip up. But today was a day for me to zip up my coat. And even if I wanted to have my coat open, I didn't want nobody like stopping me so boldly and asking me if I'm cold, and that caused an argument. People are just crazy. But yeah, it is a cold day in New York City this morning. So if you are in New York City, bundle up, stay warm. You definitely gonna need to bundle up today, right? Wait, so you know what I wanted to say real quick before I go into the next subject about bundling up? Like, if you live in New York City, you should know how to dress. If you're born and raised in New York City, you should already know how to dress. So it's like 18, 20 degrees outside this morning, right? I went outside earlier than that, so it was much colder. I have never I have on a pair of not thermal pants but windbreakers, but I have never like worn over two layers. Like I have on a pair of tights and a pair of jeans, or underneath like a turtleneck and a long sleeve shirt, but I have a heavier coat. But my point is when people like look at someone and they think that they not dressed appropriately, or they think in their head that that person might be cold. No, it's people like me all over the world that spend money on like things, a nice coat, insulated, warm coat, heavy coat, right? You should spend money on a coat that's definitely will make sure you are warm. You don't have to wear layers like that. Like if you buy an expensive coat, it should serve the purpose. And expensive, I mean like your price range. Like if you know how to dress for the winter, you don't have to layer up, especially in New York City. New York City is not that cold, but today was cold. And I had on a pair of windbreakers and my little short crew neck. What is this? Short bare paws imitation of Uggs. Zachary, I make sure that because he walked to school right around the corner, it's like 5 minutes, top 3 minutes to walk to his school. And I make sure that he's bundled up warm also, like in advance, invest in a decent coat for the winter. So yeah. So when people like you see someone probably with like a short jacket, probably yeah, you need a jacket that cover your butt. But like what if the person have on like insulated all over, insulated jacket, insulated sweater, insulated pants, so they don't have to bundle up. You know what I mean? Because I don't like being like getting hot in the winter with a heavy coat on and I have on 5 layers. Yeah, I just had to throw that out there because a lot of people, they will say the most oddest things, like when it comes to people and dressing. Like some people like myself that are really knowledgeable about dressing and maintaining how to stay warm in the winter. We can give a lot of people like you advice that stop and ask people, no, even if you know them, because people are like, are you cold? I'm like, what are you talking about? I have on a coat. I know I shouldn't be that way. But they ask the most random, dumbest questions like, are you cold? I could have on like a lined leather coat, right? Not in this weather. I wouldn't wear my lined leather coat, but like in 50-degree weather, a lined leather coat. So if you know about anything about fashion, you know lining matters. And then I have to resort to saying, someone to be funny, someone who wouldn't buy a homeless person on the street a cup of coffee but they'll ask someone like myself, am I cold? And I have on a coat. I don't want to go into details. Like, listen, all my clothes are premium. That's why I don't spend like on designer clothes, because I want premium clothing for the winter. So yeah, that's my rant of the morning about the cold. But it was cold. I had my coat zipped up. It had on a parka, not a bubble. I know people like, this girl is so silly, but that's what I wore. Like, and a lot of people don't know the difference between a parka and a bubble. This is a fashion like platform also where we talk about fashion. I just narrate, and hopefully someone will be listening. They pick up and like, oh, I like this channel because she do talk about fashion. So yeah, I had on a parka. It's a nice parka, but that shit is getting too small for me. I know I'm gaining weight. I'm like, I like the way it fit on me. My father bought me that coat, and this is my first time wearing it for the winter, and I'm enjoying it, every bit of it. It's a nice coat. It's a men's coat by Lands End, so I definitely don't want to gain too much weight, so I won't ever fit it again. It's a keeper. So yeah, so that's me and my rant of the morning about fashion. Uh, and we'll move on to the next subject. And the next subject is, I know I put it in the title. What's his name? Oh my goodness. I'm going to speak as slowly as I can about Shannon Sharpe and Ryan Davis interview, because I am not fans of theirs at all. I don't know too much about them. I see clips of them. I know of their names. And like, I know about Shannon Sharpe and his controversy. He's just filthy and disgusting to me. I'll just say that. Right. Get that out the way. Ryan Davis, I really don't know much about him. He's corny. I've heard his comic, some of his takes that is corny. The way he spoke on Shannon Sharpe show is the way that he delivers in his comedy. Like, you can tell that he dislikes women. Like, it doesn't take much for you to know when a man doesn't like women at all, right? They just have to deal with them because they choose to deal with the men that choose to deal with women that they don't like at all. That's your choice, dummies. But Shannon Sharpe is the biggest creep ever walking, right? And I know a lot of people may say, like, he's a black man, don't bring the black man down. That's a lie. You are entering the mouth of a lion. So sit back and relax for this one. Now, Shannon Sharpe, it has this tendency of being a creep. Like, he just can't help himself. He's like really husky and big in stature and nature. And then when he starts to speak, you can be like, ew. I don't care if he's a black man or not. I'm not attracted to him. There's nothing sexy or appealing about him at all. Right? I wouldn't even sleep with him for $1,000,000 at all. They say money doesn't matter. I wouldn't sleep with him if they like put me out on the operating table, sedated me, and said, this is the only way that you can. Oh, I hope I don't get demonetized for this. Let me stop, okay? I'm just going. That's how disgusting he is to me, and not so appealing. I'm sorry, he's not sexy. I should have just said that at all, because my listeners are very mature and critical thinkers and intelligent, so I don't have to break shit down. They know what I'm talking about. So I'll start over. He's just not sexy to me. And Ryan Davis is just not sexy to me at all. And I will be honest, like, sometimes I find it hard to listen to men that I'm not sexually attracted to. And I mean, in a way, like, if they're nice and kind and they're not sexually attracted, I can listen to them. But when they're mean and ugly and hateful, I cannot listen to them, especially if they're not attracted. And I mean, and when I say sexually, I'm just saying, like, he has to be sexy for me to give him a chance of him talking bullshit. So Ryan Davis was on, and I'm only talking about this topic because it's like all over the internet. He was on Shannon Sharpe show. That's where black men who can't afford therapy, that's their one-stop shop. the Shannon Sharps. Well, I used to call him Not So Sharp Shannon, Not So Sharp Shannon, and he's the one-stop shop for men who don't want to go to therapy, but is looking for validation from a certain amount of, well, a certain genre. Like, Shannon Sharpe has a certain audience that he caters to and that he appeals to, and it's not intelligent people. So Ryan Davis talking on Shannon Sharp show, not so Shannon Sharp show, it makes perfect sense, because where else would he go and say half of the bullshit that he was saying about his black 11-year-old daughter, calling her a gold digger because she asked him for money that he probably don't have, and he just can't tell her no. So because she asked him for money, he said, the dumbest thing, when you know black men are not loved or don't know what love is or reject love based on who they like, right? They accept it when they want to accept it. As long as it's coming from their preference or preferred woman, preferred female, preferred bitch, right? Female slash bitch, because when a man call you a female, all he is doing is calling you a bitch. So you got to correct him. When they call you a bitch, you say, don't you mean female? When he call you a female, don't you mean bitch? Like, correct him, please. So, yeah. Ryan Davis talking about his 11-year-old daughter as a gold digger, asking him for money, like basic needs, and he has a problem with that, and he started to turn it into a lie that most black men will believe about young girls. Anytime I hear a black man calling a black girl fast, I automatically know he's a fucking creep. I stay clear, fast and clear away from him. He's a creep. But Ryan Davis is not a creep like Shannon Sharpe. He's still young. He don't know. He should have never went on Shannon Sharpe to, get validation from another black man with the audience Shannon Sharpe has. That was a dumb move. But the fact that he went on a live, well, not a live, but a show, a YouTube show with Shannon, not so sharp, to express and just rant and rave and uh, get validated, just to talk about his 11-year-old daughter, stating that she is a gold digger because she loves him more than, well, she loves money more than she loves him. So I guess that's why he doesn't have a relationship with his daughter, because his daughter was asking him for things or asking for things, and he looking at her like she's a gold digger. How do you even stop to think, or even that come across your mind as a man with an 11-year-old child, saying she's a gold digger? That is just dumb to me. How do you come up with that logic? How do you even come up with that conclusion that 11-year-old black girl that because without you, right? Because some men wouldn't say that they are not equal. Without you, she wouldn't be here, right? The mother told him she didn't want any children, but I guess he thought she was lying, and he chose to give her a child anyway. But the mother stayed around, which mothers always do, right? To make sure that their kids are taken care of, whether you're a good, bad, horrible mother, we still the ones that stick around for the long run. Um, Said that she didn't want children. Now the baby is here 11 years later. So now he have more resentment towards the child, the 11-year-old, than the mother should, if she didn't want any children. And he's sitting there with Shannon Sharpe, thinking he's like, see, Shannon Sharpe, I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, I truly believe that Shannon Sharpe is not a straight man, and he know how to get men that probably are not straight, and they haven't acted on it to, uh, open up and like bring down their defenses, because there's no way in the hell that I would go on a show about, as a black man, because I know a lot of black men, a lot of men like to say, especially black women, we are called masculine, right? There's no way, as a masculine man, okay, as a masculine black man, would I ever go on another man's show and talk about a child in a degrading and demeaning way, and women that's older than her, 11 years old, a child that's 11 years old, and women that are older than her, 10, 15, 20, 30, we get persecuted for that, for being gold diggers. So you are just throwing your child in the mouth of a lion, not me, because she's safe over here. But you are throwing her to the wolves. No, not lion. He's throwing her to the wolves, right? So that's going to be like in the back of every little boy head if they ever saw this interview, or the little boys that she go to school with. Maybe one day she chilling with her friends, her friends that's 11 years old, and she asks one of her male friends for a piece of candy or a dollar or whatever, and he gonna have it in his mind, oh no, she don't want this. She's a gold digger at 11 years old. That's stupid. Men are dumb. This is why you're lonely. But with Shannon Sharpe and Ryan Davis, two creeps coming together, Shannon Sharpe has this way of manipulating dumb men and coming on his show thinking he's going to build a community, right? Every woman that knew that Shannon Sharpe knows that Shannon Sharpe, not so sharp, is a psycho. Ill. And then Ryan Davis, he just joined the community of incels and men that a lot of women hate and don't want to be around and would not even consider or recognizing them as a man, let alone a black man, right? I just when I was watching clips, he was so comfortable in what he was saying and how he was feeling. Like now, his daughter face is plastered all over the internet, and of course, like people want to say, "Oh, you bringing a black man down? You bringing a black man down?" No, the black man is very good at bringing himself down if he can go that low, right? He choose to go the lowest of the low. Shannon Sharpe was sitting there co-signing with this young black man who don't know any better, who want acceptance from men, and Shannon not so sharp out of all people. He want validation from men. This is where y'all want validation from as men. You should be like ashamed of yourselves. But what I'm saying is like now this young girl is gonna grow up with gold digger uh, in mind to a lot of people because her father, just like other men, right, black or white, but we talking about the black community because a lot of black people will say our people, our people, our people. This is our people right here. What I'm talking about in the language, in the tone behind it. Yes, our people like Shannon Sharpe and Ryan Davis and other men, black men that think like him, that hate and think their daughters are gold diggers. He's not the only one that think that, right? There are a lot of black men that feel, because I've heard black men speak about their daughters, not in the way that Ryan Davis spoke about, but similar to it and close to it. And these men daughters are older than her teenagers. So I'm like, if you could think about your daughter like that in a way at 11, and men that I know that have, shared about their daughters, ooh, what does that say, right? I even know a guy that speak about his little 5-year old, 6-year old daughter, not in the way that Ryan Davis did about his daughter, or the men that I know with older daughters and teenage. Well, when I say older, and I say teenagers, I mean like 19 and up, 18 and up. Not yes, 18 and up. Talking about their grown daughters as, I don't know, gold diggers. I even know a guy that has spoken about his little 5-year old daughter because she was being a child. And I'm on the phone with him. I'm like, oh my goodness, please. Because y'all know I'm Bronx Girl on here. But if you know me, my name is Leela. I'm like, please, Leela, don't say nothing. Don't respond. Don't argue. Don't comply. Just listen. This is how I learn how to listen to people and get to know them by the way they speak and the language they use and their mindset and their mentality just alone, based on what they say alone. This is how you get to know people and steer clear of people, especially, men like this or women. Right? I'm not the best mother, but 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 my kids are grown. This is a baby, a 5-year old child, like probably 6 now, and he was saying how she wasn't listening to him and she was running around with an object in her hand, and if she run into him with that object in her hand, he gonna have to treat her like a stranger. I'm like, in my brain, like, what? This is a psycho, right? I didn't say that to him, but I was like, So me, because I could push back easily, and I brought it back because this is a real life true story. Like, this is, so I was saying, I'm like, I understand. Like, as a man that spoke like that and think like this and said this to me, like, I didn't want to question him or make him feel more stupid than he sound. The reasonable thing would to be is to take the object out of child's hand, right? So she won't hurt herself. She won't risk hurting herself first because she has it in her hand. Or you're more concerned that she probably injured you than herself. But if she injure you, you're going to treat her like a stranger. And I didn't like read too far into that, right? But I just read enough. Like, how stupid can you be to let your child run around with an object in her hand that may injure herself first, but you thinking about yourself instead of her? So yes, men, black men, have a problem with their young daughters. Not all of them. Let's say not all of them, but the ones that are so loud and proud that do, like, it's different levels to this, right? All men treat their daughters differently. Not all men think their daughters are gold diggers at all. Not all black men sit there and get mad because their daughters ask them for money. They probably, some, the ones that I know, and the ones that, I know ones that don't want to give up money, and I know ones that do. The ones that I know don't have a problem, never had a problem with giving their daughters money, or even calling their daughters gold diggers because she asked for money. I never heard this shit before. I never thought a man would think like this, I never thought black men thought like this about black girls until I heard that interview. A gold digger. I never heard that before. A man referring to his daughter as a gold digger. Right? Because I know men that encourage their daughters to meet a man that's not broke. Okay? I know men, right, that encourage their black daughters because they know that, listen, you are a black woman and you probably not make that much money ever in your life. But I know men that encourage black daughters, black women, to date men that are not broke. They don't call them gold diggers, right? So that Ryan Davis interview was so disgusting. The fact that he even think that his daughter is a gold digger at 11 years old and she don't even know how money works, right? She don't. Obviously, he don't know how money works either when it comes to children. And I know we all have children. Like, I know we as parents, like, especially single mothers, we learn how to sacrifice, not sacrifice, but make sure that our kids are, like, taken care of after a certain age. Like, if you 18, 19 years old, of course I'm going to still help you. But if you 18, 19 years old as my child, because I encourage both my kids to get jobs at a young age, and the oldest one held his two jobs down after, graduated from high school, and he had always had two jobs as a child and grown up as a teenager. Now he's about to be 30 years old. So yeah, he I encouraged him. He could say whatever he wanted about me, but I encouraged him to do things that would benefit him in the long run. Like Zachary, now he's 10 years old, and he just, he don't have the concept of money, but he know that money can buy stuff. So now I try to keep like a few amount of dollars on me so he could get what he want. And he's different though. And when y'all know, when I say he's different, that excuse me, Zachary's on the spectrum, but they really smart. Like, children on the spectrum probably are gold diggers. And I'm not saying that Ryan Davis' daughter is on the spectrum. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, Zachary, he know what money does now because I taught him what money do. He know that what money can buy. So when he sees something he want, like, I try to, like, set up a system with him, like take him to Five Below and let him spend a certain amount, let him rock out, and learn that this is not free. We just not going into the store and taking it out the store without paying for it. But children want what they want, and it's up to us as parents to know what they want, how they spend. I'll give you a perfect example. This Christmas, Zachary, when he was out of school for the vacation, I said, let me just put a certain amount of money to the side so we could go out, because he requests shit every single day. He'll be like, I want to go here, I want to go there. He don't go nowhere extravagant, but he want to go to, like, let's just say he like to go to Applebee's, right? And he likes to walk, but he likes cars too. He like nice Ubers. Like, if he get in an Uber and it's this is all him. I'm not teaching him shit, right? He enjoy nice riding in nice Ubers. You should have seen him when he drove in a Tesla. He was like in heaven. Tesla's a nice ride. My first time in a Tesla was really nice. Not to get beside the point, but like, you put him aside a certain amount of money just in case your kid asks, right? So this holiday, I made sure Zachary was good. I made sure that he, for the last week he was out of school, he when he asked or requested something, I had the money to do it because I know how much money it takes to make him happy. That's it. That's all. You have to know how much money it takes to make your children happy. And when she's 11 years old, so it shouldn't take that much, right? She's requested basics. He says she was asking him to go to Chuck E. Cheese, Ryan Davis. What? You can't take your child to Chuck E. Cheese for the day? Spend $50, $100 on your child for the day? I could see if she was asking every day, you'd be like, no, they know what no is. Zachary know what no is, and he'd be like, "Can I have this?" I'm like, "No, you get it tomorrow." He'll go into the store and buy 3 Nestle Quick Milks, and I'm like, "Damn, no," because he's picking up a pattern now. So now every time he go in the store, he think he need 3. So I had to tell him only 2. He got it, but I had to break that little pattern because he's getting used to it, right? The milks are getting expensive, $3 for Nestle Quick milk that you drink out of the bottle, and that's getting expensive. So I have to let him know, no, you could get 2, and that's how that go. So and I'm not, it's not based on black men alone, it's just based on men. But this was a black man on another black man show talking about like his daughter's a gold digger to a man that is a multi-millionaire, and said that he didn't want to pay for his daughter's wedding. I think allegedly, I don't know if it's true or not, this is what I heard, but he had to dish out millions of dollars to a young white girl because he thought that he could use his big black whatever to control her, right? But and that's the thing where black people say, "Oh, if Shannon Sharpe would have stuck with a black woman, what he would have done, he probably would have really done damage on a black woman if he was a black woman. Look what he did to a 19-year-old young white girl. Had to give her $1 million because he was a creep. He would have never been a creep like that to a black woman. He would have made sure that black woman suffered. He would have made sure that that black woman would have endure unbearable punishment from him. Not even at his hands, but his like disgusting mentality alone. Right? Y'all sit here, y'all be like, well, and I'm not talking directly to anyone. I'm just saying generally, like, black men are supposed to be kings. I don't look at them like kings. I would never call one of them a king. Like when you have men like Shannon Sharpe, right, that spend money on a 19-year-old girl, white girl. Not that she white, because if she was black or white, it wouldn't have made a difference that he was abusive and that he was creepy and that he assaulted a woman. But then black people go into a tirade and a rant and don't even think for 1 second. So you saying that if it was a black woman that was getting abused at the hand of Shannon Sharpe, she would have to endure and suffer that because he's a black man? So it would have to be overlooked and swept under the rug, water under the bridge? No. And then Shannon Sharpe co-signing everything he's saying, talking about, oh yeah, yeah. Like, shut up, you big creep. This is why men are lonely. You're gonna continue to be lonely. If you follow men like Shannon Sharpe, or if you agree with things he say, or if you agree with things that Ryan Davis say, as a black man, you will forever be lonely. Right? I know black men have the tendency of making it known that they do not like a black women, and that's not good at all because you show it more ways than one, right? They be like, oh, why is black women the most single? Because we're not stupid. We're smart. We don't want to endure or suffer any type of I don't know, punishment from men, right? Black or white, who cares? Shit, black women have it hard. We do. In most cases, we are the last ones to be acknowledged as human beings. And that's like above up from a dog. That's why we are mostly called females and bitches by men, black women, because we are looked at as bitches, a female dog. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy. And a lot of people may think that I hate men. I do. I hate them as a whole. Like I'm not going around picking out individual men and meeting them and say I hate you. Shit, I hate men like Shannon Sharpe. I hate men like Ryan Davis. I hate men like Diddy. I hate men like R. Kelly. I hate men like Bill Cosby. Is that enough? Or do you need more? Do you need more confirmation that I hate the men that I hate? Do you see a pattern there? Is that not a pattern of men that you will hate too, based on their behavior? I'm not here to like validate black men, but shit, I meet a decent amount of black men every single day that I like, that we laugh with. Like, I already know one, and this one guy I know, like, I'm not going to even get into the details of how I know him. He's just known, and every time I speak to him or we have conversation, like, just about simple stuff, he gets so defensive. He don't even know he gets defensive, and I don't even correct him. Because I'm not going to stop and say, why are you so defensive? Um, him, that type of guy, that type of man, his defenses will always be up. He's the type of guy that would interrupt you and say something totally different because he think women are, you know, smaller than him and less smart than him, and he carry himself and say he's a Muslim. The dumbest black guys, that men, I say guys, I mean men, like, that say they are Muslim, think and act just like him. The ones that don't read. You know what I mean? So he's so defensive, and he'll interrupt me when I'm speaking to him, or dismiss everything I say, or not. He's okay. Okay, now I'm learning. I'm learning. Instead of me saying all of that, I'm gonna just narrow it down to say that he's very disagreeable. You know what I mean? You sitting there talking to someone and they disagree with everything you say. Where can we go from here? And it's just like, I don't know him personally, just always speaking. He say good morning, good morning. Then when you start speaking and listening to him, he yells, not yells, but he talk loud when he talk, or he just think he know everything. He don't like women. He's one of those type of men that can't learn from women, and that don't think women can teach him anything. So he gets so hostile and resort to being defensive because he don't know how to respond. And the last thing I'm going to say, he's insecure because he seemed very confident in being a macho man. Right? I don't like macho men. Shannon Sharpe is a macho man. Um, Ryan Davis want to be a macho man. He just don't have the tools to be a macho man. Like, Shannon Sharpe is scary as fuck. I don't care if I was sitting in a bar and I had on the prettiest dress and the prettiest hairdo, the nicest makeup. I would not ever try to seduce no one like Shannon Sharpe. As soon as I hear him say hello, how you doing, I'm walking away. Right? Men sit there and they base their judgments. Their judgments are so harsh. Like, they'll criticize a woman like myself that enjoy wearing wigs and enjoy looking good and enjoy just being, fun and flirty and friendly and cool and down to earth. Like, but they don't know how smart and intelligent I am, right? Because all of these traits that they look at is like a no. They don't even care if you are smart and intelligent and cool and kind. Not kind. I don't want to let nobody. I'm kind or nice. Let's erase that from everyone's mind, especially when I'm on this YouTube. I'm not kind or nice. I'm just thoughtful. But they don't like women that wear wigs, just into herself. So these are the type of men I steer clear from, because women could do whatever they want. This is why men are lonely, because they don't have like a open mind. They don't explore. They're not curious at all. But with Shannon Sharpe, I don't care how much money he has. That means that I am like desperate, really desperate. If he said, "Yo, come up to me in a bar and I'm looking all pretty, and my whole reason for me to be there is to seduce." Oh gosh. My whole reason of being there is to you know, seduce a man, not sexually, because I'm not there as a prostitute in the bar sitting there waiting for a nice guy to come by and talk to me, because you can meet a guy in a bar, but I guess everyone probably have the same thought, like, we only here for one thing. Not me, right? Like, not me. But if Shannon Sharpe was to come into the bar and saw me sitting there and approach me, and I knew who he was, or even if I didn't know who he was, looking how he looked and talking how he talked, I would reject him automatically. I would give him difficult time off top. As soon as he say how you doing, I'll probably say hi, how are you? That's just, I'm not gonna like shut him down so quickly, but I'll give him like 3 minutes of my time. And he asks, can he buy me a drink? And I'll be like, yes, you can buy me a drink. I tell him what I'm drinking. Before I like reject him, I'll make him buy me 2 drinks. Maybe 3. Okay, 2 drinks and a shot, right? I want to see how he responds to women drinking what he would. Because men, they don't like women that take shots. So you have to do what men don't like, right? You at a bar, he buying you a drink, like I'll take. If you sitting there that long, right? If you sitting there that long to get 2 drinks and a shot within like how 15 minutes, but less than that. Make sure it's less than 10 minutes, and then he start talking and he asks if I'm single, and I'll be like, "Don't worry about all that. I don't know you. I'm not looking to date. I don't need a boyfriend. I don't want a boyfriend." Um, someone like him would say, "All I did was just ask you a question." After, but this is after I have my drinks with Shannon Sharpe, my 2 drinks and my shot. This is after like he get comfortable because he think I'm tipsy and he think I'm in a different state of mind, like an altered state of mind. So now we sitting there having a great conversation, but I'm still gonna reject him because when he first walked up, I didn't like him. I didn't like the way he looked. I didn't like the way he speak or sound. But I'm going to at least get 2 drinks and a shot if he's that type of guy. But if he's like haven't asked or offered to buy me a drink um, after he sat down because he volunteered himself to sit down, then it's definitely going to not go too far than a minute. But if we having a great conversation for him, not me, because I'm going to reject him anyway, right? After after I get my 2 drinks in a shot, and he asks me that awful question that men ask women: "Are you single? Why are you single?" That's when I'm going to flip the script to let him know I'm not the one for you and I'm not going off with you. Right? I just wanted 2 drinks in a shot, and you couldn't even maintain a conversation for me to get a third one, asking me if I'm single. Like, does it matter? Right? Um, because I want to be. Should I not be single? That's the last thing you should ask a woman about, is she single and why she's single. Or if he asks, "Oh, so why are you single?" Oh, I maybe give him a little grace after he say, "Are you single?" And I'm like, "Yes." That's if I want a third shot, a third, you know, third glass of wine or whatever, a third drink. Let's just say that depends on what I want or what I'm drinking. I'll go for a third one. I guess the point is to make him spend like $100 on 3 drinks and a shot to get rejected. This is how you know when men have money and they don't. Shit, you paying for conversation when you sat down, and okay, I'll give him a little grace. I'm gonna. This is storytelling. I'll give him a little grace if he asks, "Are you single?" I'm like, "Yes." Now I'm gearing up because he's gonna ask that dreadful question, "Why are you single?" And that's when I'm gonna turn into a masculine woman. Be like, I hate men. Men are dangerous. Their expectations are too high. They are not romantic. They especially if he black. I'm like, and black men don't know anything about sex. Or, black men are cheap, right? To let him know. Listen, I don't need your drink because you bought me one. You volunteered and you asked for it. I didn't ask you to buy it. It's a difference. So now, I guess with his expectations of buying me a drink, 3 drinks and a shot, and I probably went over because 3 drinks is probably more than $100. I'm not a big drinker like that, but I would feel good if he would have bought me like 3 drinks and spent $100 after 15 minutes just to reject him. That's the Shannon Sharp. That's what you got to do. You got to be on top of things, right? Because one day he said, and I'll end it like this. He said he take girls out to restaurants because he's a creep. Men that love women, men that love to spend money on women, men that don't have a problem with spending. And this is just an example, because y'all know, if you know me, my brave heart, my supporters, that like the type of man that I love. I described him to the fullest, the Jolly Green Giant. I ain't found one yet. And it's probably going to not ever happen. So I'm not banking on it. But I'm about the man that is willing to, like, get to know a lady and ask the right questions, correct questions, appropriate questions, and having a conversation. He knows that he has to pay for her time, right? Because what's the sense of you coming to a bar and you want to meet a woman and you can't even start the jackpot off with $100, but you expect her to go upstairs? I'm just Most women that are very professional and good at this, they probably say or agree with something I'm saying, but they probably have a little bit more definite advice that will work. Maybe mine wouldn't work. But after $100 and you just sitting there not trying to go home with nobody and want to see what type of man you're going to get to buy you $100 just to, reject him, right? Because what are you in a bar for? You looking for a woman to pick up, right? Pick me up, three drinks, and then you take another woman. I got you started, I got you warmed up, right? And then you take that other money that you planned on spending, probably, possibly for a good night, which is okay, on another woman that's deserving. Shit, if you a man and you say you love women and you can't sit at the bar for 15 minutes and get rejected in a polite way, depends. But Shannon Sharpe, he's getting rejected all the way down, right? I'm going to be so nasty to him, not nasty, but polite. But after he decides that he wants to get buy me three drinks and then expect for me to go home. Only men like Shannon Sharp, but someone that a man he'll buy searching for a woman and he get rejected. Like, how much money does it take for you to get rejected? It should and take that much. $100 is nothing. That's a night out, right? Shit, I'm pretty sure you got like $600 more in your pocket to find a girl that could go home with you, because this is what you out for and paid for, right? Men, you shouldn't come outside if you don't have $600 in your pocket. Hey Therese, how you doing? Hello. Like, going outside, you have to anticipate that you will have to spend a decent amount of money on this woman, and not because she's a whore or not because she's a prostitute, but because you are showing a little bit of effort, right? With no expectations, no strings attached, right? If you out chilling and you vibing and you having a good time and you see a pretty woman sitting at the bar, maybe she is there for men to pick her up, but you would never know that until you speak with her. Right, but you're not gonna sit there. And she's the type, like, cool, looking for a guy like you, and y'all buying each other drinks. But if men want to lead and they are manly and they call themselves the leaders and providers, what's wrong with spending $100, $100 on a woman at a bar that you might be interested in, whether she rejects you or not, because she could just be a bitch like me, right? And just want three drinks and a shot. Because men, they feel like they are entitled to women. So this is what women should, like, shine the most, is in a bar. Like, you don't have to go home with no man because he bought you no drink, where he's going to drag you out the bar and you're not getting drunk, you're getting tipsy. You ordering drinks that will keep you mellow and nice and keep you in a vibe and a good time. But when it's time for you to get up and leave before him, like, yo, it's getting late, I'm gonna go. Y'all want to exchange numbers? That's the only Shannon Sharp. And they order stuff that they can't afford. So you are there to gatekeep. You are there to exert authority over the. You are better than women. What man takes a woman out and say, "Oh, she was getting shit off the menu that she would never buy"? Take me out and take listen at the menu and get what you want. It's a good feeling when a man say that. So you going out with him, you going to have a good time. You get there, he talking about, "Oh, you are men creeps." And we know all not creeps. We know there are men that are out there that's willing to spend, and it's not even about money, but you do need money to find love. You don't need money to be in love. How else you gonna be in love if you don't find it, right? Women today, women all over the world are not settling for men. So we do have a choice to be in a relationship with. I would never be in a relationship with men that I love. That's my choice. I would never be in a if I choose a relationship with a man that I offended and really, like, triggered by women, and I say triggered for men because I know they don't like that word. You are really that women like myself and many other beautiful, sexy, intelligent women, right, are rejecting you on the strength of maybe because more than a man. You don't know what it takes to be a and I won't regret because I don't know. I'd rather be a whore and a slut is than to settle with a man just to say look like I'm normal or like I'm safe or protected or provided for. And that no. A lot of women you settle and that's okay. I'm not here to like scold you for settling, but you shouldn't. You don't have to. Once a woman realizes how fun it is and safe it is, and it's not really safe to be a single woman. There are men out there that will assault you based on you being single because he feel like you're free, right? Even though I am free in my mind, I am not fully protected as being a single mother or a single woman. That's why I get a little bit taken aback when men talk about single moms. I feel like those men are the ones that hate children, and will hurt a child, and hate women and will hurt women. But like being a single mom, I mean, let's just X that. Being a single woman in this world, in this era, in this time, in this atmosphere is not safe for too many women. So we have to steer clear and make that choice not to be in a relationship because that is our choice. Everyone has choices. Because I know y'all men get corrupt, your minds are corrupt, and you really don't know how to compute like a thoughtful thought. Say stupid shit like, oh, women that say that, oh, they are single by choice. No, they not. No, they not. They just can't have the man they want. Right. Why would we settle? Why would a woman that probably, she meet a guy and he has money and she has money and they could do whatever they want, they can have fun at their expenses alone. But why would a woman have that makes good money, that makes a decent living, that still treat people kind, that still treat people like a human and still treat people with love and compassion? Why would she settle for a man that because I know a lot of men like to say women that make a lot of women money are mean and rude. That's a lie. But why would we settle for something that we don't have to settle for? Because money takes you far places, right? It takes you real far places. If you have money, you could do what you want, within, I guess, your budget, or I don't know. You could do what you want when you have a certain amount of money to do what you want. So when men say like, oh, women talking about, yeah, I'm single by choice, because I don't ever use that word to make them mad. I'm single by choice because they never want to answer the question. If a woman is in a relationship with a man that abuses her, that treats her, mistreats her, that uh, don't treat her so kindly, that treat her like pure crap, and she stays, that is her choice to stay, right? Because as soon as a woman say, "Oh, um, I was with a guy that treat me well," you fools, idiots, dummies, men, losers. Say you would say the ones that creeps and the ones that can are relatable to her story because the man, you would say, "Oh, that was your choice to be with him. You made that decision, right?" We are all responsible for our decision and choices. That's right. So if a woman like me and many other women are letting you guys know, yes, because you think women are not single by choice, and we give you an example why women are single by choice, you have a lot to learn. There's a lesson that needs to be learned. Men, when you say that women are not single by choice, but she chooses not to be in a relationship that may hurt or harm her or that can be harmful for her and children in the future, near future now, right? Like your choice, like I just don't get it with men. You are really lonely, and you deserve to be lonely. You deserve to be lonely. Shannon Sharpe and Ryan Davis is the greatest examples of why men should be lonely forever. Like the stronger women become, the lonely men will be. Right? Just because a woman is strong, that don't mean that she's not human. Just because a woman is strong and can think for herself and make her own choices, make her own decisions, that don't mean that she's kind and rude and hateful. Men are that way. They're not strong. They're weak. That's why they think women are supposed to submit to them and be inferior to them, and give in to their demands and not reject them. Men don't like rejection. They get really offended by rejection, right? And this is the thought process behind the man who thinks women don't have the choice to be single. These are the ones who don't believe in rejection. Men, just because you look good, carry yourself good, that don't mean that you are desired. Every woman don't want you. You're not wanted by all women. You're gonna remain lonely for a long time, and you deserve it. Especially the ones that want to infiltrate and make a woman, the ones that can manipulate a weak woman into falling in love with her, like because of his tactics, and then like come months later, he changed up. And when a man say, "Oh, a woman switched up," no, you put me in a box. Nobody told you to do that. I told you I can't be tamed. Like, oh yeah, and that's another thing. Women that say they are single by choice, they can't be tamed. You cannot tame a woman. And a man that think that he can't tame a woman, he's going to be the most savage person alive. Okay, so yeah, men are lonely. Thank you, Shannon Sharpe and Ryan Davis, for exhibiting how lonely and men are, and how lonely they will continue to be because of your mentality, because of your destruction against women, especially black women. Black men that hate black women should remain lonely for the rest of their time, right? Because if you don't have the money to like go into different territory, then you definitely are stuck with us black women. And we ain't accepting your bullshit. That's a choice, not to accept you, but to reject you. And there are women out there that deserve love and want love, but they shouldn't have to have it at someone else's expense, because this is something that they naturally crave. Women naturally crave love and affection and attention, because that's natural. That's something that humans are designed to want. But the fact that they have to fight for it, fight for a man love, why do women have to fight for a man love? That doesn't make sense to me. But why? But then men, because you're not romantic and you don't care, you won't fight for a woman's love. You should fight for women's love, because it's worth fighting for. You think shit just come easy? This is why we choose not to be with y'all until you start fighting for us in the right way, and educate yourself, and become more knowledgeable about women, and the way they feel and the way they think. Then I guess you'll be lonely. We'll be even. Okay, let me end it like this. I'll put it this way: point blank, period. The reason why you can honestly see why men are lonely is because women have a choice not to be in a relationship, right? So women are choosing not to be in a relationship with men. That's why men are lonely. You idiots don't compute that very well, and you don't grasp that idea very well, right? You don't grasp the understanding that because women have said and made it be known and rejected you on a high level, that she's single by choice, and it's evident. The proof is in the pudding. It's all over. It's epidemic. Why men are lonely. Now, there you go. So when a man hears a woman say, "I'm single by choice," this is a lonely man that gets offended. And then you have to look at him and say, "Aren't you lonely?" Yeah, you are lonely. Aren't no, not you per se, but aren't men lonely? So women are choosing not to be in a relationship, or don't want to be with a man for her sake and for the man's sake too. But you know what? Yeah, I just wanted to get that out the way with Shannon Sharpe and Ryan Davis. They both creeps. Shannon Sharpe is more of a monster, and he's scary, and I don't like him the way he look or talk. Ryan Davis is young and dumb. He want male validation. Talking about a 11-year-old girl like that. I never heard a man say that their daughter was gold diggers for them, for their dad's money. That sounds so fucking disgusting. Let me go, because now it's bringing up other shit in my head. Like, people could think about, like, can you even sit back and reflect on him saying his daughter is a gold digger? Like, what do most men think about women when it comes to gold diggers? That she's sleeping with a man for money. Who would? He's sick. I would never watch him again. I don't watch him, but I would, like, every clip that came up, I had to, like, sit and wait for the right person to give commentary on, because I'm not watching him. I'm not watching Shannon Sharpe. That's all the clip I need to see. Again, thank you for listening to my insight and my perspective. I appreciate my audience, all of you, all one, two, three, four, five of you, just for being here and listening. But I'll be back soon. Definitely be back soon. But thank you